If you've been seeing repeating numbers lately, not once, not randomly, but consistently, this message is for you. Not because the numbers themselves are magical, but because of where you are internally right now. Something in you has already shifted. And before the outer world reflects that shift, awareness always heightens first. You didn't come across this video by accident. And you're not noticing these patterns because you're looking for signs. You're noticing them because a part of you is already listening. Stay with me not to be told what will happen, but to recognize what is already unfolding within you. Let's ground this first. You are not imagining things. You are not becoming overly spiritual. And nothing is wrong with you. Repeating numbers show up most clearly for people who are already becoming more conscious of their inner state. This isn't about prediction. It's not about fate. And it's not about waiting for something external to save or rescue you. This is about alignment. When your awareness sharpens, patterns become visible. And numbers are one of the simplest ways consciousness mirrors back to you that a shift is already underway. You're not being warned. You're being reflected. And this reflection appears before a breakthrough, not after, because manifestation always begins internally. Manifestation doesn't respond to desire. It responds to identity alignment. When who you are becoming starts to diverge from who you've been, reality begins to feel unusual. Time patterns stand out. Synchronicities increase. Old structures feel unstable. Repeating numbers don't cause breakthroughs. They appear when your internal frequency is no longer matching your old reality. In other words, you are mid-transition. This is not about attracting something new. This is about releasing coherence with something old. And the mind notices numbers first because numbers are neutral. They don't carry emotional charge, which makes them ideal mirrors during identity shifts. Heightened awareness before external change. The first reason repeating numbers appear is expanded self-awareness. Before reality reorganizes, consciousness stabilizes. At this stage, you may feel more reflective than usual, slightly detached from old goals, less reactive, yet more sensitive. This isn't confusion, it's recalibration. Your nervous system is learning to hold a new level of awareness. And numbers appear because your mind is between narratives. You're no longer fully identified with the past. But the future hasn't crystallized yet. So let me ask you, where in your life have you been observing more than reacting lately? Dissolution of old control patterns. The second reason repeating numbers intensify is internal resistance, not to manifestation, but to letting go of control. This phase often feels like restlessness without urgency, desire without clarity, motivation without force. And this is where many people misinterpret what's happening. They think something is blocked, but in truth, your old methods of control no longer work, because they're no longer aligned with who you're becoming. Repeating numbers show up here as a stabilizer. They appear when your system is learning to trust being overforcing. If things feel slower, quieter, or less dramatic, that's not regression. That's integration. Discomfort here doesn't mean delay. It means recalibration is almost complete. The choice point, conscious participation. This is the turning point. Repeating numbers at this stage are not reminders, they are invitations. An invitation to choose alignment consciously instead of unconsciously repeating patterns. This is where inner authority activates. Not by doing more, not by affirming harder, but by choosing presence over prediction. Your breakthrough doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. And the moment you stop asking, what is going to happen? And start asking, how am I choosing to be? Reality reorganizes rapidly. This phase asks for responsibility, not pressure. You are not here to wait. You are here to embody. Embodiment before manifestation. The final reason repeating numbers appear right before a breakthrough is embodiment. When alignment stabilizes, the mind looks for confirmation, but the body already knows. At this stage, you feel calmer without needing answers. Decisions feel simpler. You trust your timing more. Manifestation flows here not because you're trying, but because nothing is contradicting your intention internally. The outer result is inevitable once inner coherence is complete. And numbers fade naturally once embodiment replaces seeking. They were never the message. You were. So, how do you work with this energy? First, awareness. When you notice repeating numbers, don't interpret them. Pause. Notice your emotional state in that moment. That state is what's stabilizing. Second, embodiment. Instead of asking what to do next, ask, what would alignment feel like right now? Then choose one small action that reflects calm authority, not urgency. Manifestation accelerates when your nervous system feels safe in expansion. No rituals required. No rigid steps. Just coherence. You don't need signs to validate your path. But sometimes awareness reflects itself back gently, just long enough for you to recognize your own evolution. If this message resonated, sit with it. Let it integrate. And if you feel called, share in the comments, what have you been noticing shift internally lately? Not to seek confirmation, but to acknowledge your own awareness. Trust where you are. Trust what's unfolding. And remember, breakthroughs don't arrive loudly. They arrive when you're finally aligned enough to receive them.